Yes, ma'am. Yes. Get it. No. Okay, we can't help. Talk to you. No, I'm on here. I'm on here.
Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony. Okay, we seem not to have signal out. My first guest today is a fellow that I have known for many years. Whenever I see this gentleman, I know he's doing the work that he loves as a celebrity photographer. With cameras wrapped around his shoulders and neck, you can bet the pictures that he's taking will be seen very soon across the nation and around the globe in newspapers, magazines, etc., etc., etc. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome renowned celebrity photographer, George Livingston. Hello, George.
Hey, Hollywood world. Thank you for the opportunity. And to talk about my man, Ron Brewington, that's another story. So we'll tell that at another time.
At another time and place. Got you. Welcome to The Actor's Choice. You know, it's good. I can say this. I've known you for a long, long time. This guy is, he knows everybody knows him. As we talk about it, we have a little extra time. It seems that our scheduled first guest is not going to make it. His publicist just called me moments ago to say he's in a plane right now, so he won't be able to do this interview today. Some other time.
That's my opportunity.
That's your opportunity. Yes, sir. There'll be you and another lady coming in after you. Okay. Now, first of all, I see you were born in what city, sir?
In San Francisco.
San Francisco. I left my heart in San Francisco.
That's right. San Francisco, open your golden gate.
All right. And how long, and you were born and raised there?
No, I was raised in the city of Richmond.
Okay.
Which is about 20 minutes away.
Okay. All right. So while you were growing up, I see you had an interest in entertainment and sports, huh?
Yeah, I definitely did. I had an opportunity, listen to the Coasters and Chubby Checker and Chuck Berry and the Beach Boys and all.
Sounds like you had a good time.
I had a good time, man. I tried to do a little dancing, but I can't even bust half a move now.
Well, you've done some stage production, so you must be doing something right.
Yeah, I tell you, that I got to credit that to my lovely wife.
Yes, indeed. And do give your lovely wife my best, please. Please.
She's waving at me on the other side of the room.
Is that if she puts a hand like that, I know she's in the room.
Yeah, that's another story too. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now you received, as I'm told, a camera as a high school graduation gift in 1971. This way you could go and photograph your family and friends. Give you a chance to practice, huh?
Yeah, my dad used to take family pictures and all, and when I graduated, there was a lady by the name of Carmen Britter, who was a good friend of our family. She presented me with my first camera. It was like a little Instamatic camera.
Wow. Well, speaking of your father, George Livingston Sr., can you put that picture up there, Tony? He's been around a long, long time. And there he is with Martin Luther King.
That's right. I remember that vividly. I was like 10 years old. Dr. King came to our area, and my dad at the time, he was a planning commission. I think he was involved with the community neighborhood council. And he went up to meet Dr. King, and there it is.
Wow. Well, our next photo that we have is interesting. Here you are, a young man growing up. There you are. Look at you. Had to throw it back in them days.
Oh, yeah. We had some hair at that time. Yeah, and
Yes,
you
it
can see
did. I
that's
wasn't bald either. You know, I used to wear the pro.
yeah.
I used to wear the process. Remember the process?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
Hey, remember later on a guy named Rick James had a group called Process and the Do Rags.
yeah, in the do rag, exactly. Oh yeah. Some people say do rag. What's a do rag?
What's a do rag? Yeah, oh, yeah. But you can't ask Rick James now, but you
Right.
know how that was.
Indeed. So as time went on, you met a gentleman who taught you a lot about photography. I mean, you had knowledge, but this guy really put you there. I'm talking about Howard Bingham.
Very much so. I met I think it was in the late 70s or early 80s, and he I told him about my interests, and he said that whenever you come to the Los Angeles area, give him a call, and I meet you at the Hamburger Hamlet in Beverly Hills. I said, whoa. And here we are, and he directed me on with things to do in imagery and all. So it was quite a delight just to be in his presence, because you know Howard Bingham, you think of Malcolm X, Bill Cosby, just a number of those that he photographed.
And don't forget,
And oh yeah, Muhammad Ali. That's right.
my
That's
man.
right. Matter of fact, I think it was at the time when he was a man by the name of Cassius Clay.
Right, right. You met a lot of them. You certainly have. You really started shooting celebs, as they call them. That was a lot. What's it like? What's it like when you get around celebrities and stars? What's it like?
Well, you know, I maintained my excitement within, but I knew I had to take care of my you had to take care of the images that I was capturing. And you know, here I think one of the first I photographed was well, I was with Willie Mays, who was my idol. And I thought I was gonna be the next Willie Mays, but that I saw a guy jump on his knees and throw a cape on his back, and that just changed everything. And you
That me. Who was that?
The Godfather,
Godfather.
Mr. Dynamite's soul brother number one,
Number
James
one.
Brown.
Indeed, indeed. Now, this next picture we have, if you can go there, Tony, here's a picture of you and a guy named Michael Jackson.
Oh boy, yeah. What had happened in that? A man by the name of Charles Aiken, who was at the Oakland Coliseum, he said, "Hey, there's going to be a Quincy Jones dinner down in Hollywood. Let's just all dress up, go down there, act appropriately, and see who we connect." And it was like a dream come true. I mean, it was, I think the first person I photographed in the lobby was James Ingram, then Steven Spielberg, Jane Fonda, Gladys Knight. I mean, it was just the A-list of those that usually sit at the table with Ron Brewington. You know what I mean?
I'll send you after the show is over. I'll send you something.
But it was really exciting.
Yes, got you. Can you go, Tony? Can you go to the next photo, please? Now here's Michael Jackson. Who's that lady with him?
Oh, that's my lovely wife by the name of Linda Livingston, and that was at that same dinner. And Michael came in. He was running late, and I asked him, would he take a picture with, I was talking to our friend Lee Bailey at the time.
Lee Bailey, yes.
And
Radio School.
Yeah, and so I broke the conversation. Here's Michael Jackson he's walking really rapidly. So I asked him, would he take a picture with my girlfriend? She wasn't my wife at the time. That's another story.
Yes.
So, so he said, sure. And he embraced her, and I took the picture.
Wow. You know, Michael Jackson, when I heard that he had passed, a lot of us, tears came to our eyes. He was quite a performer, quite a guy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I could tell you that story of how it impacted me. I was, but yeah, it was very impacting.
Yeah, there'll never be another Michael Jackson ever.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was promoted to a degree that we had never seen in this generation. You know, because you know, Elvis Presley was promoted big, the Beatles were promoted big, but Michael Jackson, he was just not only him being a phenomenon, but that publicity machine just, you know, just
yes.
skyrocketed him to the atmosphere. You know.
Yes. Bob Jones and the Motown people made a star out of him. They sure did.
Very much so. Oh yeah. And then later on, he just went on and on.
Yeah. Here's a question that because people ask me this all the time. What's the difference between a celebrity photographer such as yourself versus paparazzi? So what do I tell them?
It's a combination of both.
Oh, okay.
I've done both, but I knew my limitations. I didn't jump in anybody's backyard or do things that were out of the rims of now. But there's paparazzis. They do anything. It was a guy that I used to watch. I used to read a lot of the bylines, credits of these photographers, and there was one guy. He photographed, Rock Hudson in his in the coroner's van.
Wow.
And I remember talking to him a couple of times. He said, "Hey, you got to get that picture of any cost to get that picture."
Right.
So that was a learning experience for me.
Right. So what's it like being around the stars? I mean, like they had the Emmy Awards last night. They had the red carpet. You see them in all the glitz and glitter, the limousines and blah, 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 blah. What's it like? You getting that picture?
It's really exciting, and you just know that you're there to take care of business. And with me, I've always I had a delight of excitement, but I controlled my excitement. You know what I mean? Like when I met whoever, and I, oh man, that's really, I say that to myself, but I try not to show that, except before I had a little camera before I became a professional photographer, and when I met the Godfather, Mr. Dynamite himself. Oh man, you're Mr. James Brown. I was excited, and as a matter of fact, it was one of those old Polaroid cameras that you had to put the connecting wire, and I didn't do it. And he said, "Hold on." He grabbed it and put it on. And I said, "Man, I'm getting guidance from Mr. Dynamite himself on how to take a picture."
Yes.
So it was really exciting.
Yeah, and I had a chance one time to meet him. You have to call him Mr. Brown. That was where you had to do it.
He don't go for that. Yeah, he'll call you Mr. Brewington or Mr. Livingston. That was his method of communication.
Definitely. Now, over the years, you've seen and done a whole lot of one. Tony, can you show the next slide? Here's a picture of some celebs that you hang out with. I believe there it is. Yeah, the guy over there at the top with who's that guy with the dark glasses at the top?
At the top, that's
Hammer.
Oh, Hammer. Okay.
Yeah, that's Hammer. Arsenio and James Brown.
He gave me a call the other day. We talked like 2 hours, but I was on his tour. I went to Europe with him. The other was it was Morgan Freeman. There was Cher, and now the Sylvester Stallone. That was taken in the parking lot underneath the Ladon's restaurant.
Okay. Wow.
Hollywood. Yeah.
Wow. Next photo, Tony. Here's a guy that you worked with. They call him Prince.
Well, I didn't work with him, but I did photograph him. That was the Purple Rain tour in 1985, I think it was.
Right.
But I didn't work with him, no.
Okay. When I said work, I mean anytime you go in there taking pictures, working with it, work that.
Okay, I'll work.
Yeah. Okay. This way, that does something.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. We got another video, a photo of a young man that you know. That guy.
Oh, that's the man right there.
That fellow.
Thanks. See that picture was taken at the old Circle Star Theater in San Carlos, down from San Francisco. But I didn't know Paul Scheffrin, of the.
Oh yes.
He's.
Dick Clark's published. Yes. Oh yeah.
He called me. He said, "We're going to make a presentation to James Brown or something." And he said, "I need a James Brown picture." And so I sent that to him. And I was at the grocery store looking through, I think it was People or Time magazine. And there's a big ad about the American Music Awards. And I said, "Oh man, there go my picture." It throws, it's just like a dear friend of ours, Bill Jones.
Oh, yes.
He said once, "George, I like taking pictures and all, but I just love to see my name and credit."
George, thank you so much for talking about Bill Jones.
Yeah,
he was there. There's only one Bill Jones.
Man. I owe a lot to him. He gave me a lot of guidance as well.
For those of you that didn't know it, he was washing his car one day out in front of his house, and some guy who thought that for some strange reason that Bill was messing with his wife came
Yeah,
up to it with a baseball bat and hit him across the head
multiple times.
multiple times.
Yeah, it was a thing. See, I got a call
Oh,
from Vonnie Hilton Sweeney around 2 o'clock in the morning. And she said, Jay, George, what you doing? I said, well, I was doing a thing called sleep, but what's going on? So she told me, said, well, I hate to tell you this, but I'm not sure. I think Bill Jones might have passed away. I said, what? And
right.
she told me the story that you just mentioned to everybody. And I called his wife, and you know, Holly Berry, she stood outside the hospital with a big
Yes.
sign. I mean, he, you know, I took pictures, but this
Yes.
guy was taking pictures on a nightly basis.
Yes.
You know, he was. I mean, I miss him dearly.
Yes. He'll always be remembered for sure. For sure. Next slide, if you would, Tony. There's Godfather. And who's that other fellow right there?
Well, that's not an image that I took, but that was Mr. Respect Himself. They talk about Aretha Franklin, but
Yeah.
this man, he's the one that wrote and sung Respect. That's Otis Redding. But
Okay.
yeah, that was a picture that anyway, yeah, that's James Brown and Otis Redding.
Okay. I got a short list here that you photographed. Sammy Davis Jr., Paul McCartney, Stevie Wonder, the Beach Boys, Diana Ross, Quincy Jones, Little Richard, Willie Mays, and on and on and on. My friend, you have done it all.
Is this the excitement? You know, I'm very fortunate, thanks to my lovely wife. And I say that because she was the one that we went to the Jacksons getting their star on the Boulevard.
Yes.
And I wasn't a photographer there, but she had her 35 millimeter, and she took some great pictures, and we'll do that on my next appearance on your show.
Okay, sir. Judge, you know what they say, behind every man is a good woman.
Okay. We've been together 40 plus years. Yeah,
Woo!
a lot of people don't make it to 40 minutes. I remember reading a story about on the wedding day.
Yes.
They had as a couple had a conflict, and she still had her wedding dress on, and she ran over her husband on their wedding day. He's wearing his tuxedo, she's wearing a wedding gown. So we don't have, that's a total contrast to us.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I want to be a celebrity photographer, just like you.
Yeah,
But what do I have to do?
Follow the guidance of a guy by the name of Ron Brewington. No, but you know, just nowadays, you know, they have a thing called iPhones with cameras that are so incredible.
Yes.
They're putting a guy like me out of business, you know, but I'm doing good, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, still, that's what you do.
Right.
You don't even need to go and get a 35 millimeter. Just whip up that phone, and you're out there way more than I am. But then too, on the other end, there it's been so rigid now with security compared to how it was when I first started.
Yes.
And they had security to a degree. Like one of the first I photographed was Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac. And well, matter of fact, Linda took the picture of Stevie Nicks with Fleetwood Mac with she and I. But I worked at the Oakland Coliseum, so I had the accessibility to go backstage, go into the catching them, and you know, from Dr. J, Magic Johnson. I mean, I just whatever they were, and for the most part, they were Ricky Henderson. They were really accessible to me.
Got you. Okay, we just got a few more minutes. Tony, can you go to the next photo, please?
Okay.
There you are with Frida Payne and a whole bunch of other folks. Is that Mary Wilson in the back there?
Yeah, that's Mary Wilson and Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffat.
Sugarfoot.
Yeah, that's him. That was at a event at the Dolby Theater in one of those rooms there. And yes. Frida Payne was marketing a new candy bar venture she was involved in.
I see. Wow, small world. Next slide there, Tony.
Oh boy, I got more and more.
Oh yes, there you are.
Okay, that was at a Pointer Sister gathering at the Oakland Lake Merritt Hotel. They were being presented with the proclamation and all, and here I am, just the guy who took that picture was photographer Joe Hardy. Now, let me tell you about Joe Hardy. I got to tell you about him. He photographed this man who was performing at a place called Ivy's. And
Okay.
this man was singing, and then he stopped singing, and the crowd started clapping and thinking it was a part of his routine. This man was having a massive heart attack, and he died by the name of Felipe Wynn.
Oh yes, lead singer for the Spinners.
Other Spinners, right?
Right.
So Joe Hardy took that picture. He's a dear friend of mine, but that was taken at the Pointer Sisters honoring area at the Lake Merritt Hotel in Oakland.
Okay, a couple more for you, Tony. Can you go to the next photo? This is an outlet where you get a chance to see George with his media outlets that he's been in. That anytime he does work, a lot of those, not just a small portion of them, they unsung, Ebony, Jet, Grammy, all these people. You did work with all these people.
Yeah, I did, and that was put together by Wayne Burroughs, and I really thank him for putting that together for me. And that just shows, like you said, a degree of my entertainment journey.
Gotcha. One more to go. Can you go to the next photo there, Tony? There you go. George GL with the family.
That's my lovely family. My daughter, my oldest daughter, on my right is Deanna. Right behind her is my middle daughter, Erica. And on my left is Jamil. She lives in Atlanta. My other two, they live down your way and they work for the airlines. And thanks to them, I'm able to travel the world.
Yes. George, thank you so much for being here today and being as flexible as you did. Hey, we made it good. You made it good. Thank you very much.
So much. I really appreciate it.
God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, George Livingston. There you go. Thank you, George. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to let you know that we are asking the Actors Choice Squad to help us get former baseball player Curt Flood into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Curt passed away January 20th, 1997. He was the husband of one of our wonderful guests, renowned actress Judy Pace. Now, all you get is, there she is. All you got to do, ladies and gentlemen, is go to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/The Actors Choice, or our website located at www.theactorschoice.org/get-Curt-Flood-into-the-MLB-. Okay? So if you got any questions, please just contact our TAC office. That's the Actors Choice, as we call it, TAC, at 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Okay? Thank you. Roll it, Tony.
Is there a reason why you didn't work so well with LAPD?
As a former lawyer, I know when you're leading a witness, you can just ask the question.
The internal affairs investigation.
And there it is.
Dead partner. Missing informant. It's a complicated file, but the one clear through line is that you did not look good in any of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today has people saying that she is known in the acting community as, quote, a strong-willed actor whose work alone is worth a ticket to the show. Look at her, just laughing, just laughing. She's just laughing.
Oh, that's lovely. I get tickled every time I hear it.
If it's true, if the shoe fits, wear it, as we say.
I try. No Cinderella over here.
Got you. I got you. Now, she's done stage, film, and TV work and enjoys teaching actors. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Here's her name. Please welcome, here we go, Presciliana Esparolina.
You know, it's a long one, Ron.
Okay, hit me one time.
So if there's anyone that's out there that can trill their R's, it's Presciliana Esparolina.
Got you.
But my close friends and family all call me Press.
Okay, Press.
Nice and easy. Yes,
makes
absolutely.
It easy.
That's right.
Well, greetings, Press, and welcome to the Actors Choice. First of all, did you see the Emmy Awards last night?
Well, I caught them on Instagram because we were in rehearsal. Yeah, so I didn't have a chance, but I'm going to try to catch up and rewind it today if I can.
The usual surprises, the usual snobs, snubs, not snobs.
So,
It's that way. But it's always a good show. I really enjoy it every year.
Show. I was so happy. I'm a quarter Native American, and we finally have a show on the air, Reservation Dogs, who was not nominated for an Emmy, as far as I know, but was there as a presence. And I have a feeling they'll get nominated next year. So we'll see how it goes.
Always next time. Always next time.
That's right.
Madam, you have one heck of a bio. I mean, first of all, where are you from originally?
So born and raised in San Francisco. I was
there it is. San Francisco.
There it is, right there. But let's see, you got to go a little bit further in. I grew up in the Mission District, which was an eclectic neighborhood, but it was primarily Latino, some African American. But yes, it was a very eclectic and it's changed quite a bit. I believe it's been gentrified, sad to say, but it was a wonderful time to grow up in San Francisco.
Thank you. Now, you started performing, I'm told, at an early age, dancing with the San Francisco Academy of Ballet for 7 years?
Yes. I wanted to be on toe, I wanted to be a ballerina, but then that was also when I was introduced, at the same time in elementary school, I was introduced to basketball. And we all know, and I'm not trying to date myself too much here, but we all know that Michael Jordan was, at least for my generation, actually, I think for all time, is one of the best basketball players out there. And I was heavily influenced by his work ethic, his leadership, and I wanted to play basketball. And I ended up, at the time, I didn't know I was too short, but I always felt like I was taller than I was. I wanted to be on the WNBA. I had dreams and ambitions. But then, Ron, I did. I actually got a scholarship to play collegiate ball and volleyball. But my first year in college, I needed to get what I called my easy art class, and I ended up getting the lead in my first play and was hooked.
Wow,
yeah,
that's a story.
Yes.
That's a story. Yeah. Now, speaking of university, you went to Holy Name University where you got a BA in theater and mathematics.
That's correct. Yes.
Right.
I know oftentimes we as actors like to say, just acting, just do your acting, but I have both a left and right brain, you know, and I do not have any, or did not have any connections coming into Hollywood. I wasn't born into Hollywood royalty. I had to work my way up. And in doing so, I vowed to myself that I would, one, never sleep in my car, and two, avoid being a waitress if I could, just to fight it, you know, because that, you know, everybody was a waitress or a waiter at that time. And I'm like, so I use my theater and math, I use my math background, keep my chops up, to continue to work as an ensemble member on stage, to bring that energy and receive the energy from the audience that I so much enjoy when I do theater, live theater. It's an amazing experience, and it's a workout. And people, you're right, people come to Hollywood and think that, oh, I'll just be a television actor. But I'm telling you, theater fuels you. It prepares you for television and film.
You're probably wondering why I'm holding my hand like this. You know why?
No, why?
Yay! For what you just said.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome, my dear. You're welcome. Now, on your first stage production, it was called Stepping Out, where you can dance and be an actor.
That's right. I got to play. That was my first college or university performance, and it was so much fun. We tap danced, we acted, we performed as an ensemble. It was so much fun, and you know, honestly, I always call it, that was when the drug hit me. It really, it got into my system, and I haven't stopped since.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Knowing what you know about actors competition, you came here to Hollywood. What was it like making that transition?
Well, first year, I knew my first year here was going to be all about getting
Okay.
lost on the freeway, getting lost in navigating how Hollywood works. You
Mhm.
know, it was a learning and research year for me. How to get involved in the theater scene, number one. That was my first. Goal as soon as I arrived. I opened up backstage the newspaper that we used to all look at, and I found out where theaters were happening, where the auditions were happening, and I made sure I got involved. And that's the first thing I did. And through there, I was able to start networking with different actors, start networking with people who had been here for a while, and figure out my roadmap. And through that, through one of the plays I had done here, which was Nun and the Countess, I had several managers come to see the production, and we went from there. Yeah.
Because you know what this means? You got the attitude, lady. You got the right attitude. That's what it takes to make it in this town. You got to have the right attitude.
That's right.
Indeed. Now, the year was 2002. You got your first IMDb opportunity when you were put that marvelous voice that God gave you to work in a video game called Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus.
That's right. You won't believe it, but that role, which was so much fun at PlayStation, I had originally gone in for, I believe the character's name was either Carmen or Carmelita the Fox. And I auditioned for that role. But then they said, well, do you think you can do any other roles or any other voices? And I said, well, you know, what do you have? And so they pulled up Ms. Ruby, who is from the Deep South, has sass and fire and everything to her. And I kid you not, Ron, I ended up getting that role and had so much fun. And this PlayStation game, which I'm not a huge gamer, I'm sorry, everybody out there. I'm not a huge gamer, but it has such a huge following.
Oh, yes.
I had no idea what I was getting involved with, and lucky, very, very lucky to be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they have that annual events here and there. There's always people coming together. New technology, just amazing.
Yes,
amazing.
Yes.
Fast forward to the year 2004. You got your first IMDb actress credit for a short film called Under the Overpass. Okay. All right, remember that one?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a project I worked on with Mark. I don't know if he's still in the business, but his name's Mark Garris. We met. I lived in San Diego while I was working at the La Jolla Playhouse, and again was networking there, and got in touch with the producer, director, writer. And yes, we worked on our short film. It was guerrilla style, you know, very, you know, I wasn't union yet. And yeah, but it was a great experience just to start working with the camera. Because up until then, all my experience was in theater. Yes, I had done some voice work, but to be with the camera and find my connection with the camera is also very important. And that's when I started, with Under the Overpass on that.
What kind of roles do you look for?
Strong female leads. I like to see women or not characters who have to, and I think it just because it's akin to who I am. Nothing has come easy to me. And I like the journey of what a character goes through to get from point A to point B. And whether that is family dynamics, whether it's being, you know, an immigrant, whether it's being, you know, a single mom, struggling, and then finding her success story in that. I really enjoy that journey. And that requires heart and that requires strength. And those are the types of characters that I love playing. I'm also seeing a big change from when I started to the roles that I'm auditioning for booking now.
Yes.
I'm no longer playing or auditioning for the immigrant role. When I as I was when I first started. I'm now auditioning for, these are attorneys, district attorneys, they are doctors, women up, very high in the corporate chain. And
Yes.
those are the types of roles that I'm enjoying going up for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. We need to see that representation on film.
Gotcha. The year was 2020, Prez. It was a very good year for you. You had 7 roles that year. That particular year, you did very well. One of which was a role in a TV series that I personally enjoyed. It's called All Rise.
Yes.
I was so mad when the network yanked it after 2 seasons, but guess what? I hear that OW and Oprah Winfrey Networks is supposedly having talks for a new season of the drama, the legal drama.
Yes, I read that in the trades as well. I hope it happens.
Yes, me three.
Yes, that particular show was so fun to work on, and I'll tell you why. Because a majority of that cast you just pulled up have all worked on Broadway or have all worked in theater.
Gotcha.
And when I got there, because I'm invited, I'm walking into someone else's home. I observe, I kind of see where my place is, and some people like to be talked to, some people don't like to be talked to, so I checked the scene out first. But as I started working a few days in, I got to know a lot of the series regulars, and a lot of them have been do lots of theater or have done Broadway, and it was so lovely. It was just, I'm like, yes, we have a connection. Let's talk about theater. Let's talk about what you've done. And that really helped me feel comfortable and welcomed on the set.
Guess what? We just happen to have a clip of you with your role on All Rise. Roll it, Tony. He's loading it in there. I can see it now. It's coming. Okay. Probably going to tell me in 2 seconds, Ron. It didn't. There it is.
For the past 13 years, as Jewish women.
Okay, that was kicked from someplace else. Oh well. Ever thought about being a director?
I have. In fact, I have directed a couple theater projects here in town. I am a longtime member of the Aquila Studio, run by Deborah Aquila, who's well known in the industry for her casting credits, but she's also a dynamic teacher. She has studied with Stella Adler in New York, and we have, and I learned and have learned and continue to learn so much from her. And when we were in person, right now we're not in person, but several years back when we were in person teaching, some of the students had the opportunity to put on our own productions, and I got to direct a few plays that way. And let me tell you, what a joy that was, because it's kind of like you're creating or curating a family. Yeah. And you're working with this group for 20, 30 hours a week and creating that family dynamic, and to be able to direct my peers and also for them to put their trust in me and say, and my vision of what we wanted to accomplish in the play was really lovely. And let me tell you, coming off of a directing project, it took some time to recover, because every time I do a project, whether it be TV, theater, or directing, there's a part of me that is still with that project, and it's hard to let go, because it gets into the fiber of your heart and your soul and your cell and your blood, and to let go of that is challenging. So I always give myself a little bit of a break before I go from one project to the next, because it still sits with me.
Well, you're about to open up a new project called Our Man in Santiago. Can you tell us about it? Hey, look at that.
There we are. Yes. So, what's so interesting about this project is I auditioned for this play back in September of 2019.
Okay.
I got the role. We started rehearsals in October. We plan to open in March of 2020. Well, we opened and closed the same weekend that LA shut down. We had a very small house, obviously due to COVID, and it was heartbreaking because we put so much work into it, and to see it just only go up for a couple of days was really tough. But we knew we were going to have a comeback. We knew things were going to get better, as they have, and lo and behold, we started rehearsals a few months ago, and we're opening in just this coming Friday on the 24th. And this play is so much fun because, well, how do you find humor in a very serious situation that took place in our U.S. in our government's history? How can you find humor in that? But Mark Wilding has. He's created 3 very dynamic characters, 2 of which work for the CIA. One, my character, who has hopes to work for the CIA. And what's lovely about my character, Maria, and something I've actually never done as an actress, I get to play 2 roles in this show. She's I want to call her a double agent, even though she hasn't officially become an agent, but she plays 2 roles. You see her portrayed one way in Act 1, and then she's portrayed a different way in Act 2. And that's been a challenge and a joy for me to participate in.
All right, let's see that photo that we have of her. There you go.
Yes. Yes, that's one of our rehearsal photos from last year, thinking we were going to go up. But you know what? I will say, Ron, that though this has probably been the longest production I've ever been a part of,
Gotcha.
the last few months, we have really found ways to carve out a lot of our moments on stage. We've gotten as actors, the 3 of us, or the 5 of us, I should say, but the main 3, we've all really carved out our individual moments on stage. We found moments that we didn't find a year and a half ago, and I love that. I love being able to find new things on stage and to work out new moments and to see where it'll take us. And we're doing that now with this extra time that we have.
Where is the stage venue for this play?
The venue is Theater West. It is located at 333 Cahuenga Boulevard, just on Cahuenga and Lankership.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now there's a performance schedule going. Opens Friday, September 24th, as you said, for 5 weeks.
That's right.
Okay. Closes Friday, October 24th.
That's right.
Okay. Ticket information.
Yes, ticket information. You can go to Theater West, www.theaterwest.org. Purchase your tickets there. We also have, we are all following very strict COVID protocols. So our audience, because I know this is one of the first theater productions going up in LA. I know there's been some that have happened, but we're one of the newer ones coming in. And I want our audience to know that we are following very strict protocol so that our audience members can feel safe to be inside for an hour and 45 minutes while they're watching the show. So that's taking place. We also have, so our shows are Friday and Saturday nights at 8 o'clock, and then a Sunday matinee at 2 p.m.
Parking?
Yes, I believe there's parking right across the street. There's a $5 parking lot that you can pay. And what I've also noticed since I've been back at the theater, several new restaurants have opened up. So there's lots of places if you want to get there early. There's a restaurant called Mercado. There's another sort of sports bar just on the same block, so that if you want something a little more casual, something a little bit nice, you can visit these venues, get there early, grab something to eat, and then come to the theater.
Can you show us that sign one more time, please?
Yes, absolutely. Here we go.
Our man in Santiago.
That's right.
September 24th, 5 weeks, closes Friday, October 24th.
That's it.
And you're going to see this lovely lady on the stage doing what she does so best. Before you go, I understand that your daughter Angelina is one of your mentors.
Ron, thank you for bringing her up. You know, And I know we've got to wrap up soon, but let me just tell you what this young lady did for me. So she has come since she turned about 5.5, 6 years old, actually maybe 6.5, 7. She started coming to watch my rehearsals.
Yes.
She'll sit in the audience and she'll just perch her little eyes over the chair and she's watching. She memorizes all the other characters' lines. She's listening to the director. She's listening. So the other night she comes to halfway through a rehearsal. She's sitting in the front seat and she's watching and giggling and going on. And we get backstage. She comes backstage and I was still high off of the adrenaline from coming off stage, and I wasn't really paying attention to what she was doing. I showed up to rehearsal last night, and in my dressing room, my daughter had hung up all of my costume pieces, organized them beautifully, put my accessories that I wear, tucked them away, and I walked in, I was like, who did this? And then George Tovar, who's in the show with me, goes, Press, Angie did it. Well, we were talking backstage the other night, and my heart was so full, or continues to be full. And she's a lovely gal, and she champions my work, and she knows when I've missed a line. She's like, Mom, you missed that, and you didn't do that thing over there. And I'm like, okay, thank you, sweetheart.
We have a name for that. She's a chip off the old block.
That's right. That's
Ches,
right.
I want to thank you very, very much. Thank you for being around, sticking around. Please fill that house up, ladies and gentlemen. Nice meeting you. And of course, my best to your publicist, my dear friend, Lucy Plum.
She's fantastic. Lovely.
Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, Ron. You have a great day, and we hope
You
to see
do
you
the
at the
same.
show.
Thank you.
You got a
Thank you.
seat.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm Agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. Much thanks to our guest today. You just saw her, actress, producer, writer. Let me get this right. Presciliana, that's Esparolina, okay? And celebrity photographer George Livingston. And of course, special thanks to our ever growing worldwide audience. Be well. We'll see you next time. Take care.